I wanted to talk today about opening the heart because this was something that was super difficult for me. All my life, my heart was really closed, and whenever people said, "Oh, yeah, you just have to feel it in your heart," and my heart told me to do this, I was still thinking, what, like, it's just a metaphor, right? It doesn't really have any meaning because you don't have any feeling in here. All the feeling is in the gut. And I never had any connection with this. Here it was just matter. It was just dead matter, basically. I was going to Dr. Joe Dispenza's event in 2019, and I was new to his work. I was just doing the meditations. I followed his instructions. I always showed up for all the teachings and meditations, and I was just very sincere. And during one of the meditations, I was able to feel energy move from my lower centers up into my heart, and I felt my chest opening up, and I could feel the energy, all that energy filling up my heart space. And it was so incredible, such a indescribable amount of love that I felt, and I could just surrender to it. I could just let it happen, and it was going on for basically the entire retreat and also for some time after it. And that's the first time I was able to feel my heart ever since I remember. Because a lot of people have this, we have certain experiences in our lives that lead us to lock our hearts, to just build a really strong brick wall so nobody can hurt us anymore.
How do they know that you open or they open their heart or their heart is open? What is the sign?
For me, it was very easy because I had really like the space here in my heart, in my chest, was just like dead matter. There was no energy in there. It was just, it could be made out of concrete, basically. And after that, I could feel the energy in here, love in my heart. I can feel feelings in my heart, which I was never able to do.
Mm-hmm.
Even if I would tune into gratitude or would be grateful for something, I would probably feel it more around my gut and not in my heart. And after I had that experience, when the energy finally was able to move up into my chest, I could say, wow, I can feel my heart. Wow, I'm opening my heart. You sense it. It is,
You know that you know.
yeah, it's a literal experience of the heart opens, the chest opens. And it's such a wonderful feeling, and it's in all of us.
Mm-hmm. And don't be hard on yourself to say, yeah, I don't have it open enough, or whatever. The thought of open heart is already opening your heart. So just don't be hard on you. Like people here, we are very logical and we are very
Mind based.
mind based. Then it's hard to let it sink from here down to here. You just have to let it sink in there because your mind always will give you all the reasons and all the conditions to do things, but the heart already knows and it already knows the truth. That's why you sometimes, when you fall in love, then you make crazy decisions because the heart is having its moment and it's unguarded, and then you after that you have to fix what you have decided for because the heart is so abandoned and we don't know how to work with it. Then we get it open. We think that somebody else opens it for us, and
But
then
also, love relationship can also come from the first three energy centers
mhm mhm
and not even from the heart. Like you have this emotions of being drawn to somebody and you want to be around somebody, but the heart can still be locked down because you have traumatic experiences that lead you to lock
mhm
your heart, to protect it from
mhm
being hurt again, because it does hurt. And then you get into a new relationship and you might have your heart locked. It's very possible, and it's nothing wrong with it. A lot of people experience this, and for me it was just not possible to feel anything in there. And I was going to the retreat and from Dr. Joe, and we were doing meditations 3 times a day, so I had a lot of time to actually focus on my energy centers, to focus on my body, focus on the blackness and nothing, on space, that the energy in me was able to flow. Now, if I wouldn't have the possibility to go to a Dr. Joe's event, what I would do is pay attention to my heart. Pay attention to your heart. Sit down, close your eyes, play some music, and just focus your awareness on the space in your heart. That's all I would do over and over and over again until you start to feel something.
You don't have to do it also for hours. It's just enough to do a few minutes a day,
Yes.
and it will eventually react because when you give attention to it, it will start giving attention to you. And after he opened his heart, he was able to fall in love with dogs.
Yes, that was like you can also have experience that opens your heart, like a beautiful sunset that opens your heart, or the love from unconditional love from an animal that can open your heart, or an act of kindness. All these
Mm-hmm.
things are possible. But if you really have a hard time like I had with feeling any emotion in here, it is simply just putting our attention on it.
Mm-hmm.
Because as the saying goes, where you put your attention, you put your energy. And that's exactly what's happening. If you're still thinking outside of you, of places you have to go, or people that you're thinking about, or on your phone, all your attention and your life force, your energy is in that device, or with those people, or in that future, or in that past. And when you put your attention on your heart, all your life force, your energy goes into your heart. And you can have that experience that you start to feel like a little glimpse of something. That's how it started for me. First, I was doing the meditations at home from Dr. Joe before I went to his retreat. And I was just having for a millisecond a little glimpse of my heart. Like, wow, there is actually a possibility that it could feel with this energy center. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I heard about open hearts and make
Yeah.
decisions from your heart, but
Yeah.
it was a little glimpse, and I knew that there's more.
And why is it important to make now your heart open, to have your heart open? It is because the AI is coming into the game. It is because the AI has answers for everything, but what the AI cannot do is to feel. And it's going to be our biggest, greatest power in the future. And already now it is our greatest power
Wow,
because, yeah,
that's so right.
yeah, because they can't feel, they will never feel, and we can. We are powerful beings because we have a heart which can feel and connect to everybody around us and be compassionate and loving and seeing beauty in dog running around having fun, or I don't know, people are doing kindness gestures for each other and stuff like that. So that's why we have to have our heart open. Because of that, it's our only chance how we are going to be greater or greatest. Because the AI is going to give us, and it will just be, instead of all the ladies in the sales, all the hairdressers and all the drivers and all the repetitive and easy tasks are going to be uh, supplied,
Taken over.
taken over by AI and the robots.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody is ever going to feel for them ever. They cannot feel pain, they cannot feel bliss, and they cannot feel love or anything with their heart. So it's the most intelligent intelligence. It's the biggest, greatest intelligence what we have. And
Mm-hmm.
now it's time to truly, really embody it fully, this energy of the heart, and open the hearts.
That is so amazing. That's why I love making these videos with you. Because she didn't even say anything about this ever. I've never heard it. I heard it for the first time as well now. And it's so true. Like, it is so important in this time, not just for ourselves, but for all people around us, for the whole community. Community is so important now.
We have to stick together, not anymore the things which we see by created by AI. There's missing something, and there's missing this truth. and we will sense it with our heart. We will be able to recognize with the feeling of our heart if it is true or not.
Mm-hmm.
The heart never lies. It's always knowing.
And we all need this. We are human beings. We need love. We need to have our hearts open so we can communicate with each other, so we can be there for each other. It is so important. And trust me, once you're able to open your heart and start to feel it, you might lose track of it again for some time, but you can go
Yeah.
back to it really easily. It is really easy for me to go back to it. I just know, wow, I need to give it my attention again.
And you will lose that again. You will not be
Yes.
conscious of it. It's
Or
normal.
something bad happens to you and you close down
Yeah.
again. It's normal.
Then you become aware that you closed it, and then you will, if you will have this intention, then the heart will be slowly opening with you. But opening the heart is the same thing as connection to your heart. It's the same thing. Just connecting and keeping it like blooming, like it has to put energy in and out all the time. It's like your bank account, you charge it and it flows out and in the money. Or it's like your body, you breathe in and out. The heart also is still pumping your blood, and that's about how the love works. We have to still reconnect and be aware and remind ourselves who we are and who we want to be constantly until it becomes us, and it's so innate that it's so normal, and nobody will ever disconnect us from it anymore, because it will be such a strong bond.
Like riding a bicycle. Maybe what we have all in us and we know to be the truth, we just forget about it. Once we get back on the horse, it will be just like riding a bicycle.
Like riding a bicycle with my dog. We didn't ride a bicycle with my dog for like 5 years when she was older. And then she saw me on a bicycle and she activated her
Exactly
puppy
the same
self,
pattern.
her young self, and she started to be absolutely the same dog.
She was running after her and still
She
biting
was
her a
biting
little
my
bit while she
legs
was riding the bike.
and having so much fun about it. She so much enjoyed it,
Yeah.
and of course her heart activated and her whole body activates. In dogs and animals, you can see the heart activation, what it does. It actually activates their whole body and their whole aura
It
around
is
the
life
body.
force.
It
All
is,
the life force goes
yeah.
into your heart.
Yeah.
And that life force is always with you. Even if you feel locked down and emotionless, the life force is always in you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it just doesn't have anywhere to go. It has just walls around it.
It
So
needs a bit more in the beginning because it has been
it's like a
there's
muscle.
a concrete wall around it, and it takes a lot of energy and a lot of force to break that or to weaken that wall.
And we are also undergoing this back and forth and all the time, all over and over again. We are also having our lows, and those lows can take a week or two, even though we are trying to work through the very heavy, dense energy and through our past selves. Then it really is there, and you have a feeling that it will never end, but it actually eventually is having its end. And then it's time to just still reconnect to the heart and just be there and remember that this is gonna pass, this is going to be obsolete one day, and you are going to be stronger and you are going to be more powerful with your heart open, even though it doesn't seem like it. It used to be like a weakness, but now it is actually also scientifically proven that it's our biggest superpower, and it's going to be the best supplement and the best medicine and the best remedy for anything. Yeah, that's
Truth speaking here.
yeah. So
Tell us your story. Like, tell us how your relationship is with your heart. Like, do you feel it? Are you able to make intuitive decisions with your heart? Can you connect to it? Or have you also had periods, or maybe now, that you struggle with feeling it or opening it, and we can make more videos on this topic.
I didn't know how important the heart is, and Dr. Joe Dispenza, even though you read all the books, you don't have to go to event to open your heart.
Yes.
You can read the books and remember that you are just going to give to your heart attention and you work with your heart, and that's your intention to open it, and it's going to happen eventually for you.
Maybe even watching this video for you is enough.
Maybe because it's just enough to remind yourself all the time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.